Daryl, put that into practical terms for us. If people at home are hearing our experts say this could happen again and people work in and around all of these different targets, what does that mean?
Well, thank you, Ari, for having me on your show. There's some things that stand out to me by some of the information that's been released so far, and I must say we're in the very preliminary stages of this investigation. But there's been enough information about the devices, the tactic that's used, that could give us a little bit of a idea of who may be behind this in broad terms and why they did it. The first thing you need to look at is this cluster of targets that we have. These individuals, Eric Holder, George Soros, John Brenner, CNN, and others, this is a virtual who's who of Trump opponents. So I think the fact that we have multiple devices targeting multiple individuals on the Democratic and liberal side of the political spectrum leans that this is a politically motivated attempt. Most criminal bombings that we see target single individuals. So the fact that we have a cluster of bombs as well as the targets that were chosen, I think, indicate a political motivation. The second thing is that the actual devices themselves, this is a typical modus operandi of domestic as well as international terrorists. The reason why I don't think this is an Al-Qaeda or ISIS-inspired event is because they typically have more sophisticated devices that use high explosives that target, like, big businesses like the airline industry. The fact that we have political figures, the media, which has been called out by the Trump administration as fake news and as a target for people to direct threats at, I think gives us a good indication that this person is a domestic, homegrown type person with a political motivation. The last thing I'll talk about are the historical incidents that we've had. One of your guests mentioned that. We've had as recently as January 2011 a series of package bombs that actually detonated at mail facilities that were also targeting Democratic officials back in January 2011. Janet Napolitano, who was Secretary of Homeland Security at the time. There was the governor of Maryland, who was a Democrat at the time, as well as the transportation secretary. To my knowledge, that person has never been identified or apprehended. So this may be a continuation of the earlier bombing campaign.
Let me let Errol get